Support for The Bittersweet Life comes from our listeners. This week I want to thank Mary and Sherry. Thank you so much for your recent donation through PayPal. It means the world to us. This independent art project exists because of listeners who love it. If you love this show and you've never donated before, please consider it. You can find links to donate in our show notes and at thebittersweetlife.net. And if you join us soon over on patreon.com, you not only get 2 free bonus episodes a month, you'll be invited to a live meetup that's happening right around the corner. You'll get to see us in person and maybe even see us record an episode live. That's coming right up. So join us at patreon.com for as low as $5 a month to be invited. Hello, I'm Katie Sewell, and this is A Bittersweet Moment with Tiffany Parks.
Hello, and welcome to The Bittersweet Life.
Hello.
I'm Tiffany Parks.
And I'm Aurelio.
I got up, let's just be honest. This is your midweek Bittersweet Moment, first of all. I got up really early this morning to record a different mini episode because Aurelio is home from school this week doing distance learning because his class is in quarantine, and there was no other time that I could record an episode in peace and quiet. So I got up at 6. I crawled under a blanket on the couch so that I could have some nice, calm, non-echoey sound. And just as I was starting the episode, this little guy gets up and crawls under.
I heard you talk.
He heard me talking. Well, I guess it's my own fault then. And he asked if he could be a part of that episode, and I said no, because I was just talking about art on that episode. But I did tell him if he wanted to, we could do an episode, just the two of us.
Yay!
So let's talk a little bit about distance learning in Italy and how that works. What do you have to do?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know.
What do you have to do when you get up in the morning after you've had your breakfast? Instead of me driving you to school and you climbing up the stairs and going into your classroom and sitting at your desk and being with your friends and having your teacher right there in front of you, what do?
I look at my computer. I go on Zoom. I see everything and I work.
And do you like doing that?
Yes, no.
Yes or no? Maybe a little bit of both?
Yeah.
Is it harder than studying in your class?
No, boring.
It's boring. Why is it boring?
Because when I finish to write the date, everybody needs to still write it.
Yeah, Aurelio's a little bit faster than most of the other kids in his class, and so he spends a lot of time waiting around for them to catch up. Now, but that doesn't happen when you're in class? I guess the kids are a little bit faster when they're there live than they are when they're at home. I can understand that. That makes sense. But not you, huh?
Just once.
What is the most annoying thing besides being bored about doing school on the computer?
I think it's when the kids always don't turn their mic off.
Yeah, that's true, huh? Kids have a really hard time remembering to turn their microphone off, and they're constantly asking the same question.
Oh. I don't laugh. It's boring.
It is a little bit hard. I mean, yesterday you had lessons from 8:30 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon with 15 minutes of break. 15 minutes. Personally, I think that was excessive. I mean, if you sit and listen to the lesson as an adult, you think, okay, they're doing very basic stuff. But for them, they're really challenging themselves. You know, they're learning how to write. They're learning how to read. They're learning how to do basic math. And it's just as hard for us.
What's basic math mean?
It means you're counting and adding numbers up.
That's so easy.
Yeah, it might be easy for you, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's easy for everyone. And even if it is easy for you, it's still something that's new and you're just learning. Like I remember doing a language course online. We had an advertiser about a year ago or so.
Wait, let me fix your hair.
We had an advertiser, Lingoda, and I took an online class. And let me tell you, I was exhausted by the time it was over. And I think it was only a half an hour or maybe 1 hour max. So I can't imagine these kids doing 4 hours with only 15 minutes break. I was exhausted. I don't know how he felt, but I was absolutely wiped out.
Me too.
What is something that you do like about doing school at home on your computer?
Mama.
I pointed to myself. You get to hang out with me all day, right? That's pretty good, right?
Is it?
I don't think there are any parents out there who are enjoying the distance learning thing. I mean, of course, there are parents who homeschool, and that's a whole other thing. That's a decision that they made. They're prepared for it. They have the time. They have the space. They have the materials. They have the expertise and stuff. But for those of us who are being thrown into this, and I can only sympathize with parents who have been doing this for months and months. I think about people who had first graders in 2020, and they were in distance learning from March, at least here in Italy, from early March all the way to June. I don't know how they didn't lose their minds. Because I think that I could be wrong, but I get the idea that if you have an older child, it's easier. If you have a child who's a little more autonomous, who's maybe in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, high school, it's still hard, but they can kind of manage it themselves. When you have a first or second grader who's just so little, needs help to do everything, like you.
I don't need help to do everything.
No, but you need help to do some things. Like, okay, here's something. Our school has not paid to have the professional version of Zoom. So every 45 minutes, it disconnects and we have to reconnect it. And Aurelio can't do that on his own. So I have to be constantly there. I have to be constantly there to remind him to turn off his microphone. He needs help.
No.
Not so much now. Maybe the first day. Maybe the first day. I do check to make sure that it's off. Other parents do not, and that shows. You can't do anything else. You can't get any other work done while, your child, at least if they're a first, second, maybe third grader, is doing distance learning. And I just have to wonder, my next door neighbor, her daughter was in first grade in 2020. How in the world did she not lose her mind? Because she also had a younger child at home. Like, I have so much respect for the parents who went through this and have been going through this for a long time. I knew that it was hard. I could imagine how hard I could imagine how hard it was, but I didn't really experience it because Aurelio was in preschool during, lockdown. And even last year when the school closed a little bit, he was in kindergarten. So there was no distance learning for kindergartners. There is none in Rome, in Italy. It doesn't start until first grade. So this is the first time for us. I mean, we're actually quite lucky that...
No, because we did it once at karate.
Yes, right. You did do it at karate, but that's not quite the same.
I mean, we didn't do it at karate. We did it for karate.
Yeah, you did karate lessons at home on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Well, how was that?
Nice.
You liked that, huh? Why did you like it so much?
Because it's fun.
And because Papa helped you, right?
Yes.
So major props to the parents who had to go through that for upwards of a year. I can't even, respect.
Problems?
No, props. It means respect. It's I have respect for them for what they did. It is not easy. And at the end of the lesson, I feel like I need to go lie down. It's that exhausting for me. So I'm how is it for them? Especially these kids, these little kids who they're not used to being on the computer. They're not used to spending hours and hours in front of a computer every day working or studying. Time will tell if any damage will be done here. So you wanted to talk about something else besides distance learning. Yeah, what is it you wanted to talk about?
How do you make a testuggine?
Can you first explain for our listeners what a testuggine is?
It's a Roman formation.
Okay, what kind of formation?
They got it from a turtle. They got the idea from a turtle.
It's a military formation, right? I didn't know they got the idea from a turtle. So explain to us what it is. It's a military formation, right?
Yeah.
Can you come closer?
This close?
No, not that close. This is perfect. And so what does it consist of? If you were to describe to somebody who couldn't see what a testuggine looks like, describe it.
It's a Roman formation.
Yes, I know, but what is it like? There are soldiers.
Yeah, there are soldiers with the shields in front at the sides and back, on the back, and on the top.
Exactly. So all these, a whole bunch of soldiers stand close together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they put their shields either over their heads or at the side or in the front, and they get really close together. And once they're in this formation, what do? Do they just stay in one place, or can they move when they're in this formation?
Yeah, they can move.
I bet they're pretty unbeatable like that. Because if they're covered in shields, and those Roman shields are really strong.
They're really heavy.
Have you ever held one?
No.
Once they get in this position, they can move, they can go and attack, or do they just defend?
They can even attack.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, why do you like testuggine so much?
I don't know.
Tell them what you like to do with your toys.
I like to play with them.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's obvious. You like to make testuggine out of your Playmobil.
Yes.
Aurelio has about 20 Playmobil Roman soldiers. 18? No, you have more than 18. I love Playmobil because Playmobil does like historic sets. We have the Egyptian set, which is a pyramid. We have Cleopatra and a whole bunch of Egyptian soldiers.
We have pharaoh.
And also a pharaoh, and there's some...
No, we don't have a whole bunch. We have a tiny troop of soldiers.
But what I like to do, 'cause
one coffin.
he likes to set... It's a sarcophagus. He likes to set... Whatever. He likes to set up the Roman soldiers in formation and have them battle with the Egyptians.
As usual, the Egyptians lose.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's history, right?
Yeah.
30 BC, the Battle of Actium. Remember there was a Roman on the side of the Egyptians?
Yeah.
Remember how I always make sure there's one Roman? What's his name?
No, I don't know.
You don't remember? I told you 100 times.
No.
Mark Antony.
Oh.
So you got to have Mark Antony on the side of the Egyptians fighting alongside Cleopatra. It's history, babe.
Whatever.
All right. Well, this has been a quarantine mini-sweet. This has been a quarantine bittersweet moment.
Many sweet.
You're mini-sweet.
You're many sweet.
I'm Tiffany Parks.
And I'm many sweet.
Join us again.
Bye-bye.
Do you have a topic you want us to explore? Send your requests. We love to hear what you want to know. Visit thebittersweetlife.net and contact us with your questions, your adventures, your observations, your favorite episodes. We love hearing from you. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for The Bittersweet Life Podcast.